today's walk's going to be something a wee bit different. As you can see down there, water levels at Loch Tarsan are pretty low, so sometimes it allows you to walk right round the edge of it. You can see it way over there. It is quite treacherous, I suppose, in places. It's quite silty and things like that, so usually stay to the outer edge there. So I'm going to try and walk around the perimeter of this. The dams, I think, were completed in about 1953 when they flooded out this glen. It did have a few houses and a farm in it, I think, and it did have a road running through it, and of course an original water course. So we'll see if there's any sign of that as we walk round. It's quite an interesting wee area, so we'll get on with this. I think I'm going to head down to the left hand side first and walk to the bigger dam. This is a smaller dam here. This is Col Dam. The water's usually up to the bottom of that armoured stone there, so it just shows you how far we're out. And once we get down, I'm going to stay to the water's edge, but maybe round the outskirts of this you'll see how far the boats are sitting out that the local angling club use. So now's the time to get round it, so I'm going to give it a try and see how we get on. We walked a few metres from the main road. That's one of the inlets, one of the sources for the loch. Of course, this was built to supply a hydro power station. There's the fishermen's boats. That's how far out the water they're tethered up to the shore there. There's another one of the big inlets there, and the feeds for the loch. Ground conditions. I'm just going to go up and cross here. I'm going to get wet feet today at one point, so it doesn't really matter, but stays dry for as long as I can. Looks at one bit of the original road that ran along parallel to the main road, which is up just beyond those trees. That might be the only evidence we see of the old road, but we'll just work our way along this coastal bit anyway. Not too bad underfoot this section, but as soon as you go off into that, it's pretty soft, so caution at all times. Quite a bit of loose stone here, and a bit chiselled out into the rocks there, so the map does show there was an old quarry with a road leading over that way, so I guess this is it. If you can see that yet, a wee glimpse of the big dam, Tarsan Dam itself, over the far side, so we'll just work our way along to that. Cracking morning, only is about 7 o'clock in the morning, but best time of day to be out. And second thoughts, I think this is the old quarry. Remember, this was all land at one time, no water about. Just need to work out how I'm going to get around the back of this. Don't fancy jumping down there, but I'll see if I can work my way around the back of those trees there. Drop down onto that wee bit and continue with progress around this side. Well, it worked out better than I thought. I managed to get around that nib there because the water's so low. A bit rocky, loose rock, and what you are standing on is slidey as anything, so I'll just drop down into this bit that might have been the quarry. If you make that out, there's quite a definitive line all the way around there. I don't think it's anything special, just where the water should be, I guess. It goes all the way around. This is me in what might have been the quarry. Silty, but not too bad. Try and pan out a wee bit. There we go. So enough talking, we'll make some more progress. Well, looks like I might be getting my feet wet in this one. That's me along to the big dam now, Tarsan Dam itself. As you can see how low the water is. You can almost see the tide marks there. It's probably a combination of reasons why it's so low. It's either maintenance on the dam wall itself. That's probably combined with the fact that we did have a dry spell for about 5 to 6 weeks, but that was probably about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 weeks ago, so we have had rain since then. There's a lot of water coming in. The amount of wee offlets. There's actually an aqueduct that runs along the hillside, channeling water into this, so hope it doesn't fill up when I'm here. But I'll just get round this dam. I need to drop over on the other side because you can't actually cross that. It's gated at the middle. But we can take a walk along so far and then progress round that other side. I did do this quite a few years ago, but not this side that I'm standing on just now. I just went over the forestry road, skirted round that, so we'll see what we can find. In fact, that's only the gate there. It actually just stops at the end of this walkway, so it's not even worth scaling the gate. I wouldn't do that anyway, so that's the view from here. We'll just have a look at the other side of the dam. There we go. There's the feat of engineering that retains all that water. They are doing work on it. I'll have to walk down past that way, up the other side, and then drop down onto the new shore, or the exposed shore. There's the evidence that they're carrying out some maintenance works to the dam. Concrete works, I guess. Quite tempted just to head over there and down the ladder and across the walkway, but I'll no bother. I'll be breaching all kinds of health and safety probably, so there is a dirt road that heads out a wee bit and crosses and heads up that other side, so I'll just do that. Thought that was a trig point I'd found there, but we're keeping it top secret if it is. Probably a clacker valve or something. On the other side of the dam now, so there's no restrictions on this side, apart from when you get to the end of this walkway, but we'll take a walk along, check out the views before we head round that other side. That's the gatehouse for the dam. Pan round. How clear that is, the light's not so good today. There you go, there's a mechanism for opening the main valve, open and shut. Simple instructions. Another valve, or sluice valve, whatever it is. Like this one. Probably not ever see that in this camera. A ladder. Down in the deepest, darkest depths. I'll drop the phone down there. All in bed and stuff. Right, just going to head off of this now. Looked in Strava there and done about 1.7 miles. There's hundreds of flies up here. So, put it down onto the shore. There we go there. I don't know if you can make that in the video, but there is an old kind of cart track down there. I remember that from last time. I think the water was just up to the bottom wee toe of that, so the water is slightly lower than my last visit, which was a good few years ago. So I'll head down there and continue the journey round Loch Tarsan. Right, that's me at the corner. Once I go round there I'll be going round the north end of the loch. So just have a wee look at the route we took. Over there, that white dot in the distance is the farmhouse at Glenlean, and the dam that's set off from. Panning round all the way down that side. Again, I'll try and zoom in down there. There's Tarsan Dam itself, so the ground conditions haven't been too bad coming there. A bit soft in places but not rocky. However, a wee bit there, it's a little bit rocky, but I think it's pretty easy to negotiate as far as I can remember. Well, that was nothing. Don't know if it's the same bit I was thinking of before, but anyway, easy to negotiate, especially when the water's this low. Looks like the deer have been along here. So just head round, there's the top of the loch up there. There's been recent timber harvest up there and they've put some new paths in, so if I've got time to tie in, I might head up on these new paths just to check the extent of them. Before I left I had a look at some old maps pre the dam getting built, so I think the maps were up to 1940 in this area here. Step back a bit, I think was an old building or property, Lonyle, Lonyle. Don't know whether it's a dwelling or a shed or not, but it's certainly marked next to that watercourse that comes off the hill. Look at that, the sun's even coming out, so some evidence of life this end of the loch. We'll just head further north now, there's more evidence further up. So we'll just head there. That island there, it's not an island just now, but that's got a buoy on it, which signifies shallow water for the angling club when they're heading over this neck of the woods, but you can see just how low the water is. And that buoy's so far out the water, there's meant to be maybe a foot or so or a couple inches on top of that, so there you go, an interesting fact of the day. So that was Wilson, a bit of sunburn there. There you go. Should be underwater just now. Almost at the head of the loch, just approaching the grounds of what would have been Col and Tarsan. I take it that was a farm. There's a nice wall around it. Quite a nice wee area. And there's a wee bit of building left up here, so we'll stop there for a wee second. Not much left of that. At the corner. Entrance door. Nettles. I don't know if that's the extent of the whole building or it's just a small bit that's left. Views from Col and Tarsan farm. Not too shabby. Well, this is what's left of the farmer's tractor or trailer or something. It's got some gearing on it, so might be a part of some machine. And it's just along from the ruin. But I think nature's taking its toll on that one. Seems to even evidence that there's running water, piped water going into that. There's like a stopcock there for shutting it off, and there seems to be a manhole there. That's for sure, so aye, very civilised. Some more evidence of some kind of building, maybe a sheep bank or something. Quite large in size, quite wide walls. Again, all in proximity to the fireplace. So even some slate left over from the roof. Could always patch that back in one day. Well, that's me pretty much at the head of the loch, the most northerly point. I'm just going to find a bit to cross. That will be wet feet, but they're soaking anyway, not any difference, and then I'll head down that side. There's a wee cairn up there, if you can see it. I think somebody been camping up there. I came in from Glenlean a couple of weeks ago. The water is slightly low and then, so I'll just cross at that point there. Head down the other side. Don't think there's much scope for keeping your feet dry anyway in this section. Sure it'll be refreshing. There and around this side, but I don't know what it's like further up, so soaking anyway, doesn't make any difference. Now we're on to the return leg, the last leg of the journey. It's like the salt plains this. Ideal for camping if you're brave enough. They weren't going to put the plug back in and it didn't rain. Stand on top of another island. Well, not even an island, this should be submerged in water. These boys should be floating. But not today. Look at that, it's like paradise out there. I think it's webbed feet you need for this section. Probably could avoid it if I headed up there, but here's the fun in that. Just make sure you tie your laces tight. It's the first sight of the Col Dam from this side of the loch. Just pan round, try and zoom in to the Tarsan Dam. Keep making progress. Back to the car, which is there somewhere. Just about to make it out. Get out these wet shoes. That's me almost back at the car. There's the boats over there. Oh yeah, with the current waterline anyway. And then we'll be sailing for a while. There's the car up there. There's the Col Dam. There's one of the bigger inlets. I'm just going to head up there. Give the shoes a wash. And then head up onto the actual dam itself. Well, that was a great walk. It's not often available due to the height of the water. Quite good to circumnavigate it on the shores, albeit a bit soggy and boggy in places, but not a good walk. Cheers.